Alright, welcome back year 12. So these are the questions for today. Let's go through them one by one. Alright, so your first question here is explain two management skills other than communication a manager will need to have when performing the important role of implementing change. Okay, now again you have to make sure you're looking at what the task word is. So explain, and it's asking for two management skills. Okay, so make sure you're giving me two management skills and you're explaining them as well. Okay, explain two management skills. Make sure you're not talking to me about communication other than communication a manager will need to have when performing the role. Okay, performing the role and implementing change. So these are the topics you need to cover. So each one of those is going to be 1 mark each. So 2 marks for management principles, 1 mark each. How it is linked to the performance and of implementing change. So these are the 4 marks that you will get. All right. So now justify. Next question, justify. Again, look at the task word. Make sure you're answering the questions as per the task word again. Okay, I can't stress that enough. Okay, so justify how redeployment will be important for business during the coronavirus epidemic. Okay, or pandemic. I think I should say pandemic. Forgot to change it. Now, justify how redeployment. So what you have to do is you have to give me the definition of what a redeployment means. Okay, how it is going to be important. So you need to link it back to the case important during the coronavirus pandemic. Okay, so you can talk about what redeployment you're looking at. Okay, and how is it going to help the pandemic during this time. Alright, so your 3 marks come from here. So redeployment definition is going to be 1 mark. Its importance, especially in coronavirus pandemic. So again, 2 marks for linking it back to the case. Alright, so question number 3. So question number 3 is Paul's Cement. So they are a cement sheeting company. Okay, recently there had been an increase in staff turnover and a rise in level of wastage during production. Now these are the KPIs. So there is an increase in staff turnover of 15% and there's been an increase of level of wastage by 10%. That's a very high increase. Now you have to justify. Again, look at the task word. Again, as I'm saying, I can't stress it enough. You have to look at the task word, what you need to explain. Okay, again, justify two management strategies. Okay, two management strategies that Paul could implement to respond to the issue identified in the KPI indicator data. Okay, now this is a 6 mark question. First thing you have to do is you need to explain what staff turnover and level of wastage means. Okay, the definition of both of them, you get 2 marks straight away. Okay, then you need to give me two management strategies. So each strategy is 1 mark. So that's where your 6 marks are coming from. Okay, so definition of both of them 2 marks, and then two management strategies, they come for 2 marks each as well. Okay, now again, two management strategies that Paul could implement to respond to the issue identified in the KPI data. So okay, so issues identified, so you're linking it back to the case as well. Alright, so if you understand what you need to do, go back and do your answers and come back in few minutes and look at the answers that I'm going to keep doing. Okay. Alright, let's go on to the answers. So our first question was explain two management skills other than communication a manager will need to have when performing the important role of implementing change. Now the skills that I've chosen here are leadership, okay, and two management skills. So again, leadership is a skill that should be used by managers to manage employees. This is ability to motivate and influence employees to meet objectives. Again, it is from your outcome 1. So leadership is one management skill. Okay, Now, how is this going to help? Okay, managers could lead. Again, you're explaining a management skill and you're linking it back to the question. So managers could lead the employees through the change step by step and communicate. So leadership is also communicating the employees. Communicate all relevant information to them as it comes to hand. This will help settle their fear and anxiety. Okay, so you're more fearful and anxious when you don't know what's going to happen, but if you know what's going on, they're going to be less fear and anxiousness among the employees. So that is very, very important. Now, consultative management style would be suitable to help respond to KPIs during a merger. This is when the management consults with employees before decision making. So again, the management style, using the employees, so having consultation with them and getting their input on any of the decisions. Okay, this would be suited during a merger. You can give the example of a merger, as it will allow the employees feel supported during a change and resolve any conflicts as they arise due to the merger. Okay, let's go on to next. Now, justify how redeployment will be important for business during the coronavirus epidemic. Again, if you in the previous question, this is what I've chosen to do: leadership and consultative management style. You can choose any other skills. They don't necessarily have to be these, but if you choose to do them, you just need to explain them why you've chosen them. Okay, the way I've said in my answer. Now, next question is redeployment will be important for business during the coronavirus epidemic. Again, definition of redeployment. Okay, redeployment of resources is the transfer of resources from one place in the business to another. Okay, very, very easy definition. So redeployment, you're defining, you get 1 mark straight away. Okay. Now, all businesses have, you're relating it back to the resources, because redeployment is related to the resources. It could be human, natural, or capital resources. Okay, so all businesses have these resources. By using redeployment, it will allow businesses to move some resources around their business. Okay, so you're going to move around some resources. It could be some machinery, it could be your workers or your employees, or it could be some natural resources. Okay, you're going to redeploy them. Now, what is going to happen? So this is going to allow businesses to ensure they are being efficient in increasing their rate of productivity and reduce level of wastage. Okay, again, redeployment, you're going to link it back to the effects of redeployment that we covered during our slides. So what it's going to help with? So increasing the rate of productivity, reducing level of wastage, which may be experienced when some services are not occurring during the current coronavirus pandemic. Okay, so there's many services have been shut down. So there could be some services that are not occurring. So it is good idea to use those services somewhere else. Okay. Now, last question for today. The last question is justify 2 management strategies that Paul could implement to respond to the issue identified in the KPI data. Okay, again, as I said, you need to explain the definition. You need to define both of them first. That's where your 2 marks are coming from. So Paul's business has seen huge increase in the level of wastage and staff turnover, which are negative trends. So again, as I've been telling you, you have to analyze data when it has been given to you. So this is what I'm analyzing, because there's a negative trend, because level of wastage has increased and the staff turnover has increased as well. Okay. Now, level of wastage refers to amount of resources and finished goods that are discarded during the production process. So defining level of wastage and defining staff turnover, it is the rate in which people leave the business and need to be replaced. Okay, so your 2 marks are coming from here. Now then we are going to do 2 management strategies. So each strategy again 2 marks. So to assist in overcoming both of KPIs, Paul should implement staff training. I have chosen staff training. I'm happy for you to choose something else, as long as you can demonstrate your understanding and relate back to the KPI data. Okay, so staff training, which refers to the process of improving the employee skills and knowledge. So first strategy is staff training and definition. 1 mark you got there. By improving employees' capabilities, it will show his employees to have more confidence when creating the cement sheet. So again, in your answer, make sure you're relaying it back to the case. Okay, you're looking at the case and naming what it is going to help with. Okay, this will lead to new and current employees feeling more competent at their jobs, wanting to stay, and leading to less employees making mistakes during the production process. Okay, because you're training the staff, it is going to help with productivity, it is going to help with less wastage, and also reducing the workplace accidents as well, because employees will be making less mistakes. Okay, now second management strategy Paul could use is implementing technology such as automated production line. Again, you know what automated production line is. This is equipment and machines are arranged in a sequence and controlled by computer systems to perform tasks automatically. Okay, again, as I said, you can choose a different strategy. I've just chosen these just to show you how to write the answer. Now 1 mark again came from here, and 1 mark how it is going to help the business. Okay, now by doing this will lead to having automated production lines controlling the production process, leading to less errors. Okay, so when we're having automated production line, there's less errors because all the work is done by machines, there's no human involvement. Okay, it may lead to an increase in staff turnover in the short term, but when all employees are confident with the new technology, it will lead to decrease in the need for employees and staff turnover. Okay, now again, staff turnover will be more initially when you look at implementing the technology, but in the long term it will lead to decrease in the need for employees and staff turnover, because you have no human interaction. Automated production lines is just used machines with the help of computers, very less need of employees. Okay, this is how you can answer the question. I hope you're feeling confident in this key knowledge point, and next week we are going to cover the next key knowledge point as well. All right, so have a good day guys and enjoy yourself.